Good morning, beloveds. I have adjusted my camera angle. We'll see if this is better. I'm not sure I quite like it, but okay. It is March 24th. Yes, March 24th. Our title is I Am Secure in the Everlasting Arms of God. The eternal God is thy refuge, and underneath all are the everlasting arms. And that is from Deuteronomy 33:27. The everlasting arms suggest divine protection, complete certainty, and the assurance that all is well with the soul. And how could it be otherwise, since the spirit of people is God? Therefore, when we say that we are secure in the everlasting arms of God, we are realizing that our spirit, being one with God and never separated from its source, must be and is as secure as God. It is this inward sense of our union with the whole that binds us back to the eternal presence and gives us the joy of knowing that there is nothing to be afraid of, either out of the past, from the present, or in the future. I am secure in the everlasting arms of God. I feel the divine presence in, around, and through me and all people. A great sense of calm and peace flows through my whole being, in confidence and in light, realizing that there is no separation between the spirit within me and the spirit which God is, and knowing that there is but one spirit, which is God in me and God in everything. I feel confidence and safety and security in that presence that evermore wraps itself around me and flows through me. I am indeed secure today in the everlasting arms of good, of peace, of joy, and of life. I am secure in the consciousness that today and every day I shall be guided and guarded and protected. And I am secure in the consciousness that all people are protected by the same divine presence, governed by the same law of good, and guided by the same infinite love. I am one with all, both visible and invisible, one with the seen and the unseen, one with God and one with humanity. I bless this unity. All right. Good morning, Abe. So I have many thoughts about this. One of them being, it goes back to, okay, so there's this Brendan Fraser movie called Bedazzled, I think. Yeah, it was him and Elizabeth Hurley. And there's this particular scene in the movie where he is in jail. Brendan Fraser is in jail. The plot of the movie is he sold his soul to the devil. And so he's in jail, and there's this man in white sitting on the cell. And I think he was playing the harmonica. And they proceed to have this conversation about selling your soul to the devil. And the man in white says, you can't sell what you don't own. The soul that we use isn't ours. So if we start with that premise, our soul is not ours. It is, as Ernest likes to say, an individual. We have individualized a part of the great soul, or the oversoul is what Emerson likes to call it. We have individualized the oversoul, a small part of it. We don't own it. Therefore, we can't lose it. We can't sell it. And in the truth being, we can't hurt it. So the part of us that is eternal can never be harmed, because there's nothing greater than God that can harm it. Now, some of the other thoughts that I have in the treatment portion of this, we're treating for a world that everybody knows this information, that everybody sees God everywhere. And when we treat that God, that everybody knows who they are, then a lot of the, and I'm going to use the word nonsense, in the world will stop. When we understand that there is enough, that we don't have to take anything away from other people, then we understand that that there's enough to go around, and we don't have to. When we all understand that we're good, you know, then the way we treat each other can change. Can change is what I'm saying. Um, Let me think about this for a minute. The way we treat each other can change. So we're treating for a perfect world. We're treating for a whole complete world, because we look around and we go, okay, well, I don't like what's happening in the world. So how do I get there? Well, this is where we start. We start by knowing that everybody knows who they are. So, and in the end, sometimes what we have to remember is that this is a vehicle. And yes, we want to guard it, we want to protect it, because we want to use it for as long as we're here to use it. But ultimately, what happens to this vehicle cannot touch the soul. So the essential part of us can never be harmed, even when this is. And we are going to go through heartbreaking things. But again, they cannot damage the soul. And that's what we have to remember. When we go through heartbreaking things, when we experience things like that, they cannot damage the soul. And so that's where the strength to carry on can come. Because that soul is is part of something greater. All right. And I'm having a moment. I'm sorry. A friend of mine lost her husband suddenly yesterday, and so we're in the process of managing that fallout. And unfortunately, she's in Florida, so we could, it's a matter of how much support can we offer her. So I'm just like, that's why sometimes when I read these things, I have two minds. It's like, okay, yes, these words are what we treat for, but we also have to deal with what we will call the material reality. So, okay. So I am secure in the everlasting arms of God. All right. I'm going to go back to the notion that my soul is held by God. My soul is held by God because my soul is God. Your soul is God. So that is held. That is what is held. We do have to manage the material part of us. All right. And then the quote is from Deuteronomy 33:27. As I like to remind people, what Reverend Norm says is taking Bible quotes out of context is kind of hard. So go back and read a few lines before and a few lines after, especially if the quote makes you go, So, eternal God is thy refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms. And I believe Emerson got into the everlasting arms too. So if you like Emerson, you might check him out too. All right. So the everlasting arms suggest divine protection, complete certainty, and the assurance that all is well with the soul, which is why I mentioned about my belief in the soul. I don't know if Ernest would agree with me but he might probably, because I think I've read where he said, we don't own the soul. It's part of something bigger than we are. We just individualize it. And how could it be otherwise, since the spirit of people is God? So the spirit of, and Ernest uses God and soul a little more interchangeably than I tend to. Therefore, when we say we are secure in the everlasting arms of God, we are realizing that our spirit, being one with God's, is never separated from its source. And that's kind of one of the key teachings of Science of Mind. We are never separated from our source, ever separated from our source. We create the illusion. We allow other people to convince us that we are separated from our source. But the truth is, especially if the soul that we use isn't ours, we can never be separated from. And that is the point of spiritual practice. All right. To reconnect with. All right. Okay. So We're never separated from its source, must be and is as secure as God, because our soul is. It is this inward sense of our union with the whole that binds us back to the eternal presence and gives us the joy of knowing that there is nothing to be afraid of, either out of the past, from the present, or in the future. Because in the end, it's all going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. So it doesn't matter how messy it is now. It's going to be okay because we are going to go back to our source in the end. But we have the opportunity and the chance to make choices now, to better what's going on now. And we will make better choices if we know who we are. So who are we? Beloved children of God. Individualized portions of that oversoul. All right, so the second paragraph is what I like to call his power statements. They make great bodies of treatment. If there are any words that don't resonate with you, feel free to change them. If they resonate with you, great. And use what you want. That's what Ernest wrote the book for. Okay, so I am secure in the everlasting arms of God. I feel the divine presence in, around, and through me and all people. Okay, that's the goal. In, around, and through all people and me. That's the point of spiritual practice. A great sense of calm and peace flows through my whole being in confidence and in light when I know who I am, when I am connected. And here's the word, consciously connected with my source. When I'm consciously connected with my source, it doesn't matter what's going on around me. I can center that peace. And when I can center that peace, then I become that island of calm. And then other people come to me going, what do you know? Let me be in your peace for a minute until I can hold it for myself. All right. Realizing that there is no separation between the spirit within me and the spirit which God is, and knowing that there is but one spirit, which is God in me and God in everything, I feel confidence and safety and security in that presence which evermore wraps itself around me and flows through me. I am indeed secure today in the everlasting arms of good. And that phrase right there might be one that's helpful to write on your mirror for a little while if you're not feeling safe. Remember who holds you all the time. All the time. I am secure in the consciousness that today and every day I shall be guided and guarded and protected. I am secure in the consciousness that all people are protected by the same divine presence, governed by the same law of good, and guided by the same infinite love. Whoa, there's one. All people. I am one with all, both visible and invisible, one with the seen and the unseen, one with God, and one with humanity. I bless this unity. That's a heck of a treatment. All right, especially with what's going on in the world today, right now. Okay, so the mission today, should we choose to accept it? Wow. Oh my goodness. Well, I had it and now I've lost it. Okay, the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to realize that there is no separation between the spirit within me and the spirit which is God. Oh, I am working from 365 Days of Richer Living, by Ernest Holmes and Raymond Charles Barker. And actually, I'm almost finished with this book. I have been at it for a year and I'm moving on to another book soon. I started this in April 2 years ago, so Okay, so that's the mission, to realize that there is no separation. And how do we do that? That is through spiritual practice. So I'm going to recommend the spiritual practice that I recommend every day. And that spiritual practice is to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever it looks like, every single day. Take 3 deep breaths before you're about to say something. Go and enjoy a cup of coffee or tea or, your favorite beverage. And when I say enjoy, I mean take the time to drink it, to savor the flavor, to feel it in your hand, to really enjoy it. Take a nap, take a walk, whatever it is that is loving, kind, and compassionate for yourself. Okay? It is a spiritual practice, but what I'm encouraging you to create is a habit, a default setting, a first response. How we create a world that works for everybody is by creating our first response to be loving, kind, and compassionate. If we can do it for ourselves, we can do it for anybody. All right? It's easy to do it for people we love. It's not always easy to do it for ourselves, and sometimes there are people that rub us the wrong way. Practice on yourself. All right. And as always, I do encourage you to do something to engage your mind and your body today. I encourage you to go get a face full of bright light early in the morning, reset those hormones, get your day going. Drink plenty of water and open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you, you do live in heaven right here, right now. It is all around you all the time. All the time. And one of the ways to find it is what Emma suggests. Look for the good and praise it. All right, beloveds. I'm going to move into the process of my day. I'm going to tell you that if you need us, we are on the social medias. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark. I am the running Rev Ryan on all of the social medias that I'm on, one of which, all of these talks are archived on the Running Rev Ryan YouTube. So if you want to go see what I've been doing for the last 2 years, go there on YouTube. And if you want to know what Creative Life is up to, email info@creativelife.org. That'll get you our constant contact and the hot links to any of the things, like the book studies that are going on. And my favorite thing about the book studies, you can drop in and drop out. You don't, like the Power of Decision, this is your last day to join it today. But the book studies you can drop in and out of. And there's like 3 of them going on right now. Other than that, have a great day, an amazing day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, a sunny day, a spring day, a go listen to the birds singing day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are enough just as you are. You are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased. It is a state of grace. It cannot be taken away, and it doesn't have to be earned. All right, beloveds, take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you right here on Facebook Live. I will be back with you around 9 a.m. And I will see you next time.